The following presentation is almost 30 minutes long. That's too long, unless you're serious about living well when you retire, in which case it may be one of the best investments of time you'll ever make, because you'll learn about Jim Clark Retirement, the #1 retirement planning firm of its kind in America. Watch the video. Take notes. Compare Jim Clark Retirement with any other retirement planning firm in the country. You'll know who to call. The Board of Directors is proud to introduce Jim Clark Retirement, the #1 retirement planning firm of its kind in America. Jim Clark Retirement is a high-caliber company. It's a company with which you can be proud to do business, and it's a company for which you can be proud to work. The company has a long and rich history. In fact, Jim Clark, the company's founder, opened the first retirement planning office in America. The office was opened over 45 years ago, in 1973, in a small second-story space. Today, Jim Clark Retirement enjoys Class A offices, and that's how it should be. Jim Clark Retirement is the #1 retirement planning firm of its kind in America. When it comes to choosing a retirement planner, nothing is more important than integrity. Jim Clark Retirement is the product of a long history of integrity and ethical behavior. Mr. Clark has a letter on file from the Department of Insurance confirming that he has had 0 client complaints, over 45 years in business, and 0 client complaints. His method of doing business has been commended by the Deputy Commissioner.
The foundation of Jim Clark Retirement is integrity. I was there when the Deputy Commissioner told Mr. Clark he wished every agent in the state of Indiana would do business the way he was doing it. I was there when the Deputy Commissioner told Mr. Clark that he was a model for the way business should be conducted. Jim Clark Retirement is integrity.
He has been endorsed by his competition.
Well, I think the first and obvious thing that I'd like to tell is that Jim Clark and I go back 35 years of being competitors. I had 30-some men working for me and women, and they would come in and say, we're in trouble, we're battling Jim Clark and Associates. He legitimately always won if you were in a head-to-head competition with him. He had that ability and the trust. I mean, everybody trusted him, which as new people looking for someone to go with, he was a perfect person because he always told the truth and always did the best planning. He was head and shoulders above my 30-some guys and me. He just, I was always impressed with that. That I have always been amazed at how much integrity Jim Clark brought to any type of competition that he faced. His competition really learned to respect him as much as he had the clients respecting him. And once I got out of the business, I realized that's where my fun was. That was what I had fun doing. And so when I ran into Jim again, I told him what I would like to do is come to work and be associated with him. And so he graciously said that would be wonderful and that he would find a spot for me, and he did. Unfortunately, he put me in a senior management position, so that really was a compliment to me.
He has been endorsed by his clients.
Doris and I have been Jim Clark clients for 25 years and enjoyed every minute of it. Jim has been very honest with us from the very beginning. We've always trusted him, always will trust him. He's more than a business guy, he's a good friend of ours. And that's why we deal with him. We've always felt like that Jim knew what he was doing in his line of work. Always trusted him, still feel that way, and I will trust him forever. Doris and I have never felt like we've been pressured by Jim Clark or any of his people. We've had several meetings with him, and it's just kind of what we want to do, and he works with us on it, whatever we ask him to do.
He has been endorsed by his employees.
I write this letter as a former employee, hoping to provide an unbiased endorsement for Jim Clark retirement. My decision to leave the company was based solely on pursuing a lifelong dream that suddenly became available, and even then, it was not an easy decision to leave. This speaks volumes about the mission of Jim Clark Retirement, how powerful a difference the company will make in America, and, most importantly, my high regard for Mr. Clark. He came through with every promise he made me, and then did even more. Through moral integrity and an intelligent and strong business plan, I have no doubts that Jim Clark Retirement will continue to flourish. I highly recommend Jim Clark Retirement to anyone looking for a purposeful and fulfilling career.
Jim Clark Retirement is proud to have an A rating with the Better Business Bureau and a 100% positive customer review rating. There have been 0 customer complaints. Jim Clark clients know their best interests come first. They are normal, everyday Americans. Those who are working know when they retire, they will live well. Those who are retired relax, with the knowledge that their retirement savings are safe and earning an excellent return. A Jim Clark Retirement Review is the key to a solid retirement. There's no cost and certainly no obligation. At the beginning of the review, the potential client is given a client protection agreement that guarantees in writing he will never pay a fee. The Jim Clark retirement planning process has been recognized as the quintessential process for guiding clients to a successful retirement. The process is in 3 simple steps. First, a retirement review is done to determine which retirement plan is right for you. Next, the recommendations are explained in everyday language and your questions are answered. Third, you decide whether you wish to become a client. Regardless of your decision, there will be no high pressure and no sales pitch, just good information on which to make an informed decision. Jim Clark Client Service is the gold standard for the industry. An annual review is done every year to make sure your retirement plan is current and relevant. Between reviews, your Jim Clark retirement planner will keep an eye on things and call you if he sees something that will improve your position. Jim Clark Client Service is, indeed, the industry's gold standard. Jim Clark products come with a 100% satisfaction money-back guarantee. If you are not 100% satisfied with your plan, your money will be refunded in full, no worries. Jim Clark clients know their personal and financial information is secure. All documents are scanned and securely stored on the cloud, and all originals are shredded. Jim Clark Retirement's privacy policy is one of the strongest in the industry. The privacy of your information is guaranteed at Jim Clark Retirement.
As the nation's leading company in secure document destruction, we at Shredded commend Jim Clark Retirement for its commitment to client confidentiality. We are proud to be contracted as the company's confidential document control company. Mike Horton, Shredded Document Destruction Services.
Jim Clark Retirement goes to great lengths to make sure its clients are given accurate information and treated with truthfulness and honesty by its employees. Many internal controls have been installed, including an independent private investigations firm to make sure things are done properly. If we inadvertently hire a bad actor, we'll know it in a heartbeat, and he or she will be gone.
I am the president of Anonymous Investigations Incorporated, an Indianapolis-based private investigations firm. I recently met Jim Clark when he was searching for a private investigator to assist in the development and maintenance of his company's quality assurance program. It is Mr. Clark's desire that every client of Jim Clark Retirement receives accurate and truthful counsel, ergo, his willingness to invest the time and money to have our investigations firm involved. Our firm is proud to represent Jim Clark Retirement in this capacity. We will use our 20 years of investigative experience to help assure the integrity of the work that is done.
Products recommended by Jim Clark Retirement Planners are provided by companies who have integrity, maturity, and financial stability. Jim Clark Retirement Planners are in a league of their own. They are clean-cut Americans. They are licensed insurance agents who specialize in retirement planning, but they don't act like insurance agents. They don't solicit business. Clients call them for help with their retirement, and they don't make house calls. Clients come to their office just as they do with their doctor. Jim Clark Retirement Planners set the standard for the retirement planning industry. Jim Clark Retirement Planners are ethical individuals. They live by the Jim Clark Code of Professional Conduct.
The Jim Clark Code of Professional Conduct. I will live a life of honor and dignity. I will treat my fellow man with respect. I will put the best interests of my client first. I will acquire and maintain the education necessary to properly advise my clients.
Jim Clark Retirement Planners are extremely well-trained and well-educated individuals. Continuous training and education are the foundations on which Jim Clark Retirement Plans are built. Jim Clark Retirement Planners are required to complete 100 hours of classroom training, during which they master the critically acclaimed Jim Clark process for retirement planning. The process is renowned. It is considered by many to be the quintessential process for retirement planning, because it teaches the planner how to communicate complicated financial concepts to the client in everyday language. Jim Clark Retirement Planners are required to complete 50 hours of live mentor training, during which they participate in real-time client meetings with an experienced Jim Clark Retirement Planner. Only after he has been approved and certified by his mentor is the Jim Clark Retirement Planner allowed to work with clients unsupervised. Since 1927, the American College of Financial Services has been the quintessential educational institution for the financial services industry. No other financial services professional is held to a higher educational standard than is the Jim Clark Retirement Planner. While the majority of those who do retirement planning aren't required to obtain even one professional designation, Jim Clark Retirement Planners are required to obtain 4 designations. The costs of the designations are significant. They are paid by Jim Clark Retirement. Classroom training, mentor training, and academic education are the credentials of the Jim Clark Retirement Planner. That is dedication to excellence in the delivery of quality retirement planning. Jim Clark Retirement Planners are surrounded by a support team of professionals who are dedicated to the client's well-being. Executive assistants help with the design, construction, and implementation of the retirement plan. Scheduling specialists schedule appointments. Client service specialists handle service needs with a cool head. Administrators do the paperwork, lots of paperwork. Receptionists make clients feel welcome. Concierges serve refreshments. Information is the key to financial success. Jim Clark Retirement provides the financial information needed to build a strong retirement. Jim Clark's outstanding television program, Jim Clark Presents, has reached millions of American homes with the message that it's now possible to establish your own private retirement plan, accumulate a lot of money, and thereby retire younger, richer.
Mr. Clark is an icon in the Indianapolis television market. His television programs have been a tremendous success. We're proud to have him as one of our broadcasters. Greg Kiley, Account Executive, Wish TV, WNDY TV, Lynn Digital. Mr. Clark, congratulations. The initial launch of your program on our station was a success. In fact, your Nielsen ratings show that your program outdrew ABC, Fox 59, PAX, and the SkyTrack Weather Channel for the same time period. We at UPN Indiana are pleased to have you as a client and wish you every success. Robert Getz, UPN Indiana, WNDY.
Jim Clark's highly acclaimed radio program, Jim Clark Live, has been a powerful platform for answering the questions Americans have about their retirement. Regardless of where you are in life, you'll find an easy-to-read guide for retirement security in Jim Clark's American Library for Retirement Planning. Retire Younger Richer, How to Build a $1 Million Private Retirement Plan, is an easy-to-read explanation of the most powerful personal retirement plan available today. The private retirement plan is safe, it pays an excellent return, the interest grows tax-deferred, and at retirement it provides an income on which you pay no tax. If you want to retire younger and live well when you do, you won't want to miss reading this exciting book. Clients commend the book.
I read Jim Clark's book on the private retirement plan. The next day I called to establish 4 private retirement plans, one for myself and one for each of my adult daughters. I wish I had heard of the private retirement plan a long time ago. Satisfied client.
Professionals commend the book.
I met Jim Clark and his private retirement plan in 2001. While I had been practicing business law and estate planning for some time, I was relatively new to the then freshly burgeoning field of retirement planning for Middle America. At the very outset, I was thoroughly impressed with the simplicity, power, and effectiveness of Jim Clark's private retirement plan. For once, it appeared the tables would be turned in favor of the working man and woman. From that time to this day, I have used the private retirement plan for hundreds of my own clients, as well as for myself. In my nearly 30 years of legal practice, I have never, and I mean never, seen a system that is as right for clients as it is for the practitioner, as is the private retirement plan created by Jim Clark. Kevin O. Pritchett, Esquire, Law Office of Kevin Pritchett Incorporated.
Guaranteed Safe Annuity, How to Protect Your Retirement Savings, is an easy-to-read guide to making sure your retirement savings are safe and earning an excellent return. Professionals commend the book.
It has been both my pleasure and great experience to have known Jim Clark for the last 36 years. At the time of our first encounter, we were both new to our journeys in the life insurance industry, which, while taking us in different directions, nonetheless provided us a platform for our continued professional growth. Jim's knowledge of personal retirement planning and the techniques used to build wealth to provide a guaranteed income in retirement is second to none. No one is better equipped to address the subject of retirement planning than he is. His earlier book, Retire Younger, Richer, How to Build a $1 Million Private Retirement Plan, has, along with professional retirement counseling, directed many Americans to carefully and prudently plan for a peace-of-mind retirement without fear. Thus, the years lived in retirement can be spent in the enjoyment of pleasurable pursuits. It is my hope that as you read Jim's book, you will understand the safety and reliability of an annuity as compared to the stock market and other equity investments. Make sure you are one of the haves and not a have-not. Act today and guarantee your financial future. Robert R. Belcher, B.S., MBA, CLU, CHFC.
How to Avoid Probate and Manage Your Assets from the Grave is an easy-to-read guide to making sure your retirement savings aren't lost in probate. Professionals commend the book.
This book needed to be written, and I'm glad my good friend Jim Clark wrote it. Jim Clark and I have collaborated on estate planning cases for well over 25 years. I can tell you that he has a brilliant mind, and a special talent for making complicated matters easy to understand. He has certainly hit the mark this time. After practicing law as an estate planning attorney for over 58 years, I can attest that the legal concepts discussed herein are accurate. The book is just plain fun to read. I give it a thumbs up. Well done, Jim. Robert C. Ware, A.B., J.D., attorney at law.
Cradle to College Retirement Planning: How to Educate Your Little One with Tax Preference Dollars While You Save for Retirement is an easy-to-read explanation of how to pay for your child's education while building a powerful financial future for yourself. Retirement Planning for Students: How to Build a Powerful Financial Future is an easy-to-read guide to building your career on a solid foundation. Retirement Planning for Newlyweds: How to Build a Powerful Future is an easy-to-read guide to starting your married life on a solid foundation. Jim Clark pay-per-view events are exciting online events designed to help attendees increase their knowledge of the tools and techniques of retirement planning. In so doing, they become better able to interact with their retirement planner, and they have a better appreciation of the structure of their retirement plan. The first half of the event is a discussion by the moderator of the topic at hand. The second is a question and answer period during which attendees can submit questions live, real time. No travel, no hassle, just a caramel latte and a laptop, and you're in the discussion from the convenience of your home or office. The Jim Clark Communications Network brings state-of-the-art communications to the retirement planning process. Jim Clark retirement planners are dedicated to their families and their communities. They play an active role with both. Meet Your Library events are great community events. It's a day of fun and refreshment at the library. While the little ones enjoy cookies and milk as they listen to stories from Little Puppy's Daycare, parents have their free copy of Retire Younger Richer autographed by a local celebrity. Then, the Parent-Teen Pizza Eating Contest, followed by a tour of the new computer lab donated to the library by Jim Clark Retirement. It's a great day, a lot of fun, and it does a good job of reintroducing young Americans to the library and to reading. Meet the Author events are fun and informative community events. After the author reads some of his favorite selections, there's a question and answer period and an autograph signing. Parade running events are unique events that help raise awareness in the local community that there are hungry children in America. During this event, a runner runs nonstop on a treadmill stationed in the bed of a pickup truck in the county's annual parade. Jim Clark Retirement is proud that the first parade running event was hosted by Mr. Clark's hometown, Martinsville, Indiana, in 2012 in the county's annual Fall Foliage Festival parade. This is the only time since the Fall Foliage Festival parade began in 1960 that such an entry has been hosted. It was well received by the community and well covered by the local media. Retail running events are unique events that help raise awareness in the local community that there are hungry children in America. During this event, a runner runs nonstop on a treadmill stationed in the bed of a pickup truck in front of a local merchant. Jim Clark Retirement is proud that the first retail running event was hosted by the Kroger Grocery Company, a $100 billion annual revenue public company. This is the only time since Kroger opened its doors for business in 1883 that it has hosted such an event. It was well received by the community and well covered by the local media.
Nice day for a run if you don't mind the cold and you're trying to raise some money for a good cause. How about running for 12 straight hours on a treadmill sitting on top of a pickup truck? Well, that guy's doing it. That's Jim Clark. He started at 9 o'clock this morning and won't get off that treadmill until 9 tonight. He's raising money and awareness for homeless American children. Clark ran 3 miles from his house to the Kroger store, and folks who make a donation will receive a free book. Clark is a retirement money manager. Also, kind of a good way to beat the cold because you're working up a sweat, get your body temperature up, and
oh yeah,
yeah, right.
This cold doesn't bother kids either. They go out and play in the snow, and they're just having a good time.
My dog loves it. I'll tell you that.
Oh, animals too, absolutely. Now, this morning it was pretty chilly out. Where the skies clear.
Jim Clark Retirement supports local charities. Every year, the company is proud to sponsor the Best of Show Award given by the WNY Oldsmobile Club of Buffalo, New York at its annual festival car show. The club raises money at the show for Make-A-Wish Foundation, Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, Spina Bifida Association, Cornelia de Lange Syndrome Foundation, and the Lakeshore Humane Society. Jim Clark Retirement considers it an honor to participate.
We're pleased to have Jim Clark Retirement as one of our sponsors for our annual festival car show. The support of our sponsors is critical to the success of our mission. We appreciate the generosity and help we get from Jim Clark Retirement very much. Dennis DeViso, Vice President, WNY Oldsmobile Club, Buffalo, New York.
Jim Clark Retirement believes no child should go to bed hungry, especially an American child. The company is dedicated to feeding every hungry child in America. The mission statement is simple. With God's help and the generosity of the American people, we're going to feed every hungry child in America without one penny from the government. Munchie machines will do the deed. Sponsored by Jim Clark Retirement, they will cruise the neighborhoods where hungry American children are, and they will feed them every day. There are 3,143 counties in the United States, and most of them have hungry children. Since some of the larger counties will need more than one munchie machine, 5,000 munchie machines will be launched nationwide. At full deployment, 182,500,000 meals will be served every year. No child in America will go to bed hungry. Jim Clark Retirement is America's retirement planning company. Some say it's the most exciting company in the history of American business. Plans are being drawn to open 3,000 beautiful branch offices. It's a great place to work with tremendous career opportunities. And that's it. To schedule your Jim Clark Retirement Review, to learn about Jim Clark Retirement career opportunities, or to help feed every hungry child in America, visit JimClarkRetirement.com. Thank you for listening.